everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lena and today I wanted to show you a little DIY project I recently did. I ended up filming that portion ahead of time, so I don't have anything to show you right now, but I have a bunch of old park maps from a previous trip I took. These ones in particular are from 2015. And they've just kind of been sitting around in storage, and I wanted to put them to good use and put them in a unique display. I got them initially to use as a flat wrap wrapping paper, which I absolutely recommend for small items, or if you want to kind of mosaic tape them together and wrap a gift that way. I kind of put them away and didn't even think about using it for that purpose, and I had so many maps I ended up getting rid of all but one of each map. So I have maps from Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Disney Springs from 2015, and I wanted to upcycle and repurpose them. I'm going to jump into that footage, but before I do, give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and let's upcycle some maps. So here are all of the materials I could possibly be using for this DIY craft. The most important thing is your Disney park maps. These are pretty old, from 2015. I thought I had a few more laying around, but I'm going to be using these three today. Because I am a former cast member, I do have some other memorabilia pieces from my time on the program, so I'm going to be using these, but obviously you may not have this type of stuff to use, so certainly focus on the map portion. I did also grab my passport from this past winter and this map from our tree stroll, just in case there was anything I wanted to pull out of here. I don't think I'll end up using this, but it's nice to have just in case. Majority of the materials I have here are from the dollar store. You can also get them at your local craft store. This is a wooden castle. I've got just a piece of wooden sign. I got two picture frames from the dollar store. One that's already a little decorative, so I thought it would be nice with the gold edge. And then one that's wooden, that's gonna be a lot easier to Mod Podge. I got princess stickers from the dollar store. Got lots of options to add embellishment. I also got a pack of different types of paper to also add some depth and embellishment to whatever I'm decorating. I had some Disney ribbons lying around already. They're from a combination of Etsy and Joann Fabrics, my local craft store. But most importantly, you are gonna need some Mod Podge and a foam brush. Oh, I forgot to mention, I do have tiles here. I was intending to do coasters, but I didn't find 4x4 tiles at Lowe's. So I got 6x6 tiles, so these can be used for super duper large size coasters or just for decoration. And I do have some cork from a previous project to put on the back should I decide to use those for coasters. Most of these things are going to be optional, but for the sake of this craft, the items you're going to want to make sure that you have is Mod Podge, the brush, something to put the map on, and then the maps themselves. Beyond that, it's all up to you and your interpretation and how you want to decorate and display maps from your visit. Something I do want to point out that I recently learned, they are dated, so if you have them from various trips and you're not quite sure when you took the trip, for example, this map of Hollywood Studios still has Streets of America. This is pre-Galaxy's Edge. It's advertising, as you can see, the Osborne lights, but if you look right there, it says 11 of 15, so we know this map came out in November of 2015. Something to make note of as you put this craft together and determining how you want to decorate and which maps you want to use and all that fun stuff. So I am going to get started on putting one of these together for you. All right, now that my projects are all dry, I want to show you how they turned out. I'm so happy with these. I'm really looking forward to finding a place to display them. But we're gonna do my favorite one first. Let me stand up and show you. So this is my Hollywood Studios tile. I took this top portion, which was the front of the map, and then obviously you've got the bulk of Hollywood Studios here. And then as an homage to Osborne Lights, I put the little paragraph that was on the map. That's something I really miss most about current Hollywood Studios, so I wanted to tribute that since we went. I believe this might have been the last year they did Osborne Lights, was that year. You can kind of see the hidden Mickey here. I wanted that to be visible, but I really, like I said, wanted to spotlight old Hollywood Studios, which is why I chose to add Streets of America on here. I was willing to sacrifice Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster up here in preference of what used to be, this was the backlot tour, I believe, here as well. So a lot of old stuff that I wish would come back. Yeah, you can see right here, Chinese theater throwback to Great Movie Ride, but I love how this turned out. I even added a couple stars up here just to add some shimmer and fill in some of that negative space. I've got one down here too from my sticker pack, so I love this one and am really looking forward to displaying it. So the other tile I put together is this Epcot tile. The items on here are actually from various trips that I took. I used this portion of the map from 2015. I wanted to use the Festival of the Holidays. This is our dining package ticket. This was the year that I sang in the show. My mom and two of her sisters came and visited, so I actually kept my dining ticket even though I didn't use it to get into the show. But because candlelight's super important to me, I wanted that to be the focus, which is why I have the American Gardens Theater in the America Pavilion, which is where Candlelight Processional takes place. Of course, I had to put the prettiest girl in school, the Epcot ball, on here. And the monorail, I am very biased. I am obsessed with monorail, so I wanted to use these portions of the map in addition to this ticket. These things right here, it was food and wine. Even though these are from different times of year, I thought they still looked really cute together. So this is from the 20th anniversary of Food and Wine Festival. I got a little impatient Mod Podging and I was putting this together, so it did kind of fray and feather the map underneath, so I'm going to put another coat of Mod Podge on top of it still and make sure it's all sealed up, but otherwise I think it kind of disguises pretty well if you're not looking at it. This up here is just some washi tape, and this is the list of songs in Candlelight Processional. This was actually cut out from my passport from this past trip in 2021. So I loved being able to take advantage and kind of melt together souvenirs, different mementos from my 2015, 2018, and 2021 visits. I love how this one turned out. It was a little rocky. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it in the end, but now that the Mod Podge has dried, once I add another coat on top, I think I'm going to be obsessed with it. And finally, I have this dollar store picture frame. It's pretty cheap. There's not even glass in here, so, or plastic for that matter, so I wasn't too concerned about how this one turned out, but I think it's super cute. I decided to try to put the bulk of Disney Springs on here. Again, this was 2015, so a lot has changed since this map has been released, but I like that it mentioned Saratoga Springs. I unfortunately had to cut off the hot air balloon here in the middle, but you still have all three districts. I was able to cut out a lot of parking. There's not a ton of visual interest on this map because there's so much parking at Disney Springs, but you've got Planet Hollywood. This is going to be World of Disney here, the Co-op, the old bus stations before they put it down here. So either way, I wanted to split it in half. The map just wasn't big enough to do the whole thing with interesting visuals, but I loved this earthy paper. I don't know, I kind of liked the contrast of a natural paper with a very vibrant map. So I did half and half. I thought about putting a bow with it, but then I realized it would kind of distract from the natural look of this paper. So I decided to go with it. I don't have a picture in mind for it yet. I'll have to even see if I can get a piece of plexiglass to cover it, but I love how simple this is. You can even see my cut line here, but that doesn't even bother me because it's clearly handmade. It's a dollar store frame. So I'm happy with it in the end. And again, I'll have to find a fun place to display it. Maybe I can find some room on my shelf for it, but it is just a little wood dowel in the back. I would even have the option to put a command strip and hang it on the wall, but I think it turned out great. I could have sworn that I had more maps and memorabilia from my college program. I know for a fact I held on to a map from Mickey's Not So Scary, and I'm 95% certain I held on to a map from Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party when I attended both of those. I kept collateral from a DVC event I attended, so I know I have more stuff. So I'm gonna put the other things that I showed to good use, like the castle and the wooden plank and the 2 other tiles. I just need to find those other memorabilia pieces, because for whatever reason, between me moving within the past year and my parents moving within the past year, I can't find them. So I'm really happy with how those things turned out using those older maps from 2015. Gotta find my 2018 stuff, but I still have all of the materials needed, so I'll just pick this craft back up when I go to do it again, and maybe I'll show you guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you're inspired to do the same, let me know in the comments below. If you have suggestions on what to do with maps other than Mod Podging and decorating dollar store finds, please let me know. I might take advantage of your suggestions and do that myself. So thank you so much for watching, and come back next week for the next video. Bye everyone.